What is going on, everybody? I am Rob Westerman, the third of GBP Daily, and thank you for tuning in to the Rob Westerman Show. You can find me all over social media at GBP Daily, and if you are not already, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. I would greatly appreciate it. Like the video, throw a comment down in the comment section. It really helps the channel be seen across YouTube. It is Wednesday, October 9th. And it is my dad's birthday. So happy birthday, Dad. I've got a lot of cool stories about my father. Most notably, I wanted to highlight that, yes, he is a Packers fan. As you can see here, he is absolutely G'd up from his feet up. And he thankfully born and raised me to be a Packers fan as well. Anyways, back when I was about 18 months old, my sister, who is a couple months old here in the photo, sitting in his arms, then you've got myself in the Wisconsin Badger jumpsuit, of course, took us to see Packers all-time legend Ray Nitschke at an autograph signing back in 1997. My dad got to chalk it up with one of the Packers all-timers while he signed some things for us. Pretty freaking sweet. And even more cool is he brought his kids with him. Now, Ray would unfortunately pass away less than 1 year later at the age of 61 from a heart attack, which means this was probably one of his last public appearances. A few years back, my dad gave me the hat that Ray signed for us. One of those items that he signed for us when we were there that day. And it sits in my office, displayed in a nice, what I call it, the Ray Nitschke corner. The first ever piece to my entire collection, which is made up of only things that I get signed in person. So technically, that is the first, and to me, the most valuable piece of my entire collection of Packers stuff. Happy birthday, Dad. I will see you later tonight. On to some current Packers news here. Nothing too crazy that we didn't go over yesterday. Romeo Doubs expected to be back at today's practice. Jordan Love feeling good, moving forward after playing his second game removed from his MCL injury. We'll have an update today as far as the injury report goes for guys like Christian Watson, Jair Alexander, and the rest of the gang. So Packers hit the practice field today, and following that, Coach will speak, and we'll be up to date on that front. Cardinals coming to town this Sunday for a noon matchup at Lambeau Field. To me personally, I think this is the toughest game that we'll have played so far this season. Kyler Murray on the other side is playing pretty good so far this year. They as a team are sitting at 2-3 with wins over the Rams and most recently last weekend over the 49ers. We'll be in for a battle this weekend, and I think we'll be a little bit more prepared for it than we were coming out of the gates last weekend against the Rams. Let's hop in the chat here, and as always, if you want to be a part of the show and ask some questions on air, give me a call on the Nicolet Law hotline. Numbers on the screen, 319-242-2332. I'll gladly take your call and chat some Packers. Taking callers now. Give me a call. If you're hearing this, give me a jingle on this beautiful Wednesday morning, and let's talk some Packers. I'd love to have you on the show. Mason is in the chat. What's up, Mason? Good morning. Toughest game remaining on our schedule. Well, Mason, as it stands, I still think it is the 49ers. By the time we play them on, I think it's November 24th, I would assume they're going to be a little bit more healthy than what they are right now. And coming off of the playoff loss last year that we unfortunately had against them, the game will be pretty hyped up. Rematch, revenge, all this stuff. When ultimately we're going to go out there and probably win by 20. So there'll be plenty of playoff ramifications as far as this year's playoff seeding goes between us and the Niners come that time this season. So outside of the Niners, though, both Lions games will be tough. Then December 29th, we play the Vikings at home, and right now they're 5-0. Haven't lost a game and whooped our butt pretty good a couple weeks ago, at least in the first half. So yeah, as it stands, I am still going to say the 49ers game in late November being the toughest game remaining on our schedule. Joe in the chat, I'll be at the Niners game. It will be me and my dad's first time at Lambeau. Joe, I'm absolutely stoked for you, man. That's going to be awesome. Any tips and tricks that you're looking for as far as your first game at Lambeau, hit up the Green Bay guy over on Facebook. He's got a website. It's all about exploring Green Bay like a local. He himself is from Green Bay, has lived in Green Bay a long time. He's a huge Packers fan. The site is filled with his own personal restaurant reviews, links to all those restaurants, parking, game day parking, kind of a guide on where to park, where to tailgate, all the things that you need to know for going to Green Bay for a Packers game and any other reason. Hit up the Green Bay guy over on Facebook. You'll thank me later. I've been to Green Bay countless times throughout my life, and I'll still reference his website just to kind of check some things out, see what his recommendations are. He updates it regularly all the time. So, Joe, hit up the Green Bay guy over on Facebook. His website is a perfect guide for all things Packers. DeReal in the chat. Good morning, Rob. Happy birthday to your dad, and you're the GOAT. Just a little PSA, the fact that Kyler Murray is real pass heavy. I have a strong feeling he would throw an interception this Sunday. DeReal, who's he throwing that pick to? Xavier McKinney. Let's go 6 straight games for Xavier. DeReal, you're the GOAT, bro. Thanks for hopping in the chat. I appreciate you. Hope you have yourself an awesome Wednesday. Mine's off to a great start. Appreciate you, my man. Phil, morning, Rob. That's Salah firing. Wow. Escorted from the building, but you can pay me $20,000 a day to sit at home. Yeah, if you guys didn't see, Jets head coach Robert Saleh was fired yesterday after just 5 weeks. The Jets, as we all know, is the team that currently employs Aaron Rodgers. And yeah, things aren't looking too hot over there. I'm not a Rodgers hater. That is the last thing you'll hear from me. I love me some 12. Love me some 12. One of my favorite all-time players to watch on the field and off the field. One of the more interesting guys that you'll ever find as far as an NFL standpoint. But yeah, Robert Saleh fired. I'm not sure who the interim is, someone within their staff, and it's not Nathaniel Hackett. So, yeah, things aren't looking too hot over there. I'm a little surprised on how early he was fired. It's only week 5. And I think the team just overall, Aaron obviously hasn't been playing up to his standards, but the team overall just doesn't look that good. So I saw plenty of Allen Lazard drops last Sunday as I was rooting hard for the Jets to beat the Vikings. And yeah, that didn't happen, unfortunately. So yeah, Phil, wow is the correct way to express that one. Nick, is there any players on Green Bay you want traded this deadline? And is there any players you have in mind for Green Bay to go and get? Whew, that's a good question. Is there any players on Green Bay you want traded this deadline? I wouldn't say that I want any of our guys to be traded. If you would have asked me last week during the Romeo situation, I probably would have said, maybe he's a candidate to be traded if that wouldn't have gotten resolved. But it looks like and sounds like he'll be back at practice today, and things are a little smoothed over, I would say, at least from the outside looking in. But any players I have in mind for Green Bay to go and get? How about Max Crosby? That'd be fun. What about Devontae Adams? No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding, Nick. I'm kidding. Honestly, for both of those, I don't think Green Bay is going to make any moves. Last year, we saw them trade Rasul Douglas, which was sad to see, at least at the time. Now we've got some guys in there. playing decent. It would still be nice to have him at the cornerback spot. But I honestly don't think the Packers will make any moves one way or the other, Nick. Thank you for hopping in. Hope you have yourself a good Wednesday. Phil, Vikings fans are claiming credit for the Jets firing. Shows how funny these fans are. Vikings fans they're just Vikings fans. They're in a league of their own. They take credit for a lot of things, yet have nothing to show for anything. As Aaron Nagler says it, a plastic franchise, which Vikings fans can't debate that. They've never won anything, probably won't for a very long time. So, Phil, don't let it surprise you. Like you said, shows how funny these fans are. What else we got? Lisa, do you think it's going to be business as usual for Romeo in the offense moving forward? It's a weird situation, right, Lisa? Romeo skips practice last week on Thursday and Friday, ultimately, putting himself above the team as a whole over his frustrations about his usage in the offense. I think overall the situation was handled pretty good, from my outside looking in perspective. But we'll have to monitor this as the week goes on and see, like you said, if it's going to be business as usual going forward, if there's any adjustments made as far as his playing time or his chemistry with Jordan. He served the time after committing the crime and being suspended last Sunday. So I think everything is kind of a clean slate. I would at least hope so. So can't let it linger on. Can't have any more drama or distractions moving forward. We got bigger things to accomplish, and it's important that he's a part of that because he's an important part of the team, and so hopefully things will go smoothly here moving forward. I do think everyone is going to move past it pretty quick, and it will be business as usual if I were to chime in on that one. Nick, I don't think we're 100% clear with Romeo yet. I think we've seen players come back to practice plenty of times and just throw fits. I want him to come back, but I think we got to watch him a little bit. I get that for sure. I think, like I said, I think he did the crime, skipping practice, putting himself above the team, got suspended, served the time, and seems like his talk with the coaching staff and probably Goody and whoever else he talked to on Monday went well, and hopefully he's back at practice today and everything's business as usual. Eviction gang, stay humble, fans. We are coming. Green Bay or no way. I absolutely love that. Green Bay or no way. I can say confidently I've never heard that before, and that is a legendary line. So thank you for, if it is okay with you, I add that to my regular vocabulary. Green Bay or no way. I love that. Lace Main over on X, Twitter. Do you trust half with the defense in January especially? Hopefully we're playing into late January to start with. I think we've got our last game of the year is that first week of January against the Bears. Hopefully we're playing into late January. And a big part of why we would be playing late January would be because of the defense. And so far, I think so good, honestly. We've given up quite a few rushing yards, which is tough to see. But last week when we were missing Devontae Wyatt, Rashawn Gary hasn't been doing pretty much anything. Lucas Van Ness off to a little bit of a slow start this year. I think hopefully those guys will settle in a little more. Same goes for Quay Walker, filling in the run gaps and making some open field tackles. And if Edgerrin Cooper can start playing a little bit more as well, I think the running defense will improve overall. I do trust Jeff Hafley, at least right now. I think he's done a pretty good job. One of his main focuses was to get the ball, create some turnovers, and my gosh, he's done it. Xavier McKinney especially, just breaking records, just taking over games, getting a pick just about every single game, which is crazy. 5 picks in 5 games. I said it last week, and I said it 2 weeks ago, that there's no way he can continue on to keep getting picks every single week. And I guess I've got to stick to that because I've been proven wrong week in and week out. So, I'm going to say that Xavier does not get a pick this weekend, in hopes that he does indeed prove me wrong. Going 6 for 6 would be pretty nuts. So that would shatter records. I know the 5 for 5 is breaking some records, especially Packers wise. But that sixth game, if Kyler can throw him one this weekend, then we're going to be talking about him being one of the better free agent signings we've had in recent history. Linda is in the chat. Good morning. Love hearing all the pack yak. Absolutely, Linda. Saw Linda last night for a lovely hamburger dinner. Hope you were having a great Wednesday morning, Linda. Thank you for tuning in. Have yourself a good day. Lace Main, go Pack, go. Nick, I think Aaron got us Packers fans too accustomed to no picks. Jordan's got that farm mentality. He's going to throw some picks. As long as he gets us the Super Bowl, hopefully a couple, I can deal with the interceptions. I can probably deal with about anything if he brings home a title. I'll put up with all the drama, he's not filled with drama at all. I'll put up with anything. He brings the Super Bowl title back to Green Bay, I will put up with anything. And yeah, he's got a little bit of Favre in him, which is great. You know, some don't like that, but you've seen it. Just like that throw to Jaden Reed in triple coverage early in last weekend's game that set us up for Josh Jacobs' first career touchdown in a Packers uniform. That was somewhat of a Favre throw, you know, kind of just chucking it up deep and praying that Jaden Reed comes down with it. Kind of a, you know, screw it, Jaden Reed's down there somewhere type throw, and it worked out. And sometimes, like we saw in last weekend's game against the Vikings, it didn't work out. He had 3 picks and didn't look too great, but this last weekend it worked out. So if we can string, you know, 4 weeks straight together once the playoff starts of those plays working out as opposed to going the other way, we're going to be sitting pretty good. So Linda's comment, love hearing the pack yak. I love the yak. I love the pack yak. That might have to be intertwined into the show somehow. 2 good liners so far this morning. Pack yak and Green Bay or no way. I absolutely love both of those. Thank you, Linda. Tyler, who's more disappointing, Quay or Rashawn? Easy one for me, Tyler. Definitely Rashawn Gary. Quay, we have seen have his struggles periodically, and I do think he's getting better game in and game out this year. New scheme, and he doesn't necessarily have a great running mate at linebacker alongside him in Isaiah McDuffie. So I think he's starting to get a little more comfortable back there. And I think when Edgerrin Cooper is starting next to him full-time, that linebacker duo will be pretty solid. So, but as far as Rashawn Gary goes, he's just in some sort of slump. I don't know what's going on. I saw yesterday about a post about Dyer Carragher talking about he was on a 54-game streak of having at least 1 pressure, and he's had 0 pressures in 3 of the last 4 weeks. So something is seriously wrong with the way Rashawn Gary or the defense is putting him in position to play. He's just not himself. And although it stinks, I fully expect him to break out of it sooner than later and put this kind of early season narrative to rest. All right, guys, it is time for one of my favorite parts of the show, the fact of the day. Let's get to it.
For your Green Bay Packers fact of the day, brought to you by TickPick. TickPick guarantees to have the lowest prices on Packers tickets. If you find cheaper tickets elsewhere, TickPick will give you 110% of your money back. If you want $20 off your next ticket order, use code Packers20 at checkout. That's Packers20. This promo code can only be used in the app, so make sure to download the TickPick app today. Want $20?
All right, Packers fact of the day. Tucker Kraft is the first Green Bay tight end with 35-plus reception yards and 475-plus receiving yards over a 10-game span since the great Jermichael Finley back in 2012. Tucker Kraft absolutely exploded onto the scene this year. And overall, he's ranking in the top 10, top 5 in most of the tight end categories. I don't think anybody, including myself, could have guessed the type of start that he's having to the year. And I've been high on him ever since we drafted him. But man, he is absolutely killing it out there. You absolutely love to see it. He was mic'd up for last weekend's game, and the Packers posted a few minutes of him talking and yelling and getting all amped up after his touchdown catches and runs. I'd recommend you go listen to that. Eviction game, Rob, you can use the slogan all day. It's all love. And don't worry about the front line. Everything will come together. It is still early. Green Bay or no way. Absolutely love the line. That is so perfect. I think I'm gonna ride with you here. And yeah, I'm gonna try and not worry too much about the front line. Everything I do think, I agree with you, will come together. It is still super early. We're only about, what are we, 1/3 of the way through the year, which is crazy to think about. This weekend is week 6. It seems like just yesterday we were drafting guys. Then it was OTAs and minicamp. Waiting all summer for a Jordan Love deal to get done. Preseason and training camp starts. Still waiting for that Jordan Love deal. That finally gets done. Going through the preseason battles with the kickers and the backup quarterbacks. All that talk between Sean Clifford, Michael Pratt, Greg Joseph, and Anders Carlson, all of that talk, and we talked about it plenty on the shows, pretty much goes for nothing. None of those guys ended up staying with the team. Clearly, we've got Braden Arvison rocking Donnie Anderson's 44 out there on the field, and then the backup quarterback, as we all know and love, Malik Willis, who led us to 2 wins early on in the season. Nobody probably could have guessed that either. Yeah, it's crazy. We're in week 6 already. A lot has happened, and it's made for some interesting conversations, that's for sure. Chad over on Instagram, to me, it's got to be Stokes. Once Jair gets back, I want to see Valentine playing opposite of him. I completely agree. Eric Stokes, unfortunately, has been a major disappointment. Former first-round draft pick, got thrown all over the place against the Vikings. This last weekend, you saw him give up a touchdown because he fell down, and also missed a pretty bad tackle in the open field, which was like 20, 30 yards downfield. And yeah, I've got high hopes for Stokes. I thought, this year would be a year where he came back injury-free, ready to rock. And like my man Eviction Gang said over on Instagram, it is still early. So hopefully he can turn that narrative around. But yeah, so far Eric Stokes hasn't been playing, I know, up to his standard. So Sam was sitting behind Love on the throw. I still can't believe he threw that. Reminded me so much of Favre just throwing it up there. Yeah, that was definitely a Favre throw, right? Just chucking it up deep. It was originally double coverage and then ended up being triple coverage. And somehow, some way, Jaden Reed tracked it down and brought it down. So you absolutely love to see it. Let's see here. Am I coming back? I'm a little frozen right now, but we'll see what happens here. Maybe it'll load up. All right, Sam, appreciate that question. I am going to hop on out of here. We'll get the technical difficulties figured out by tomorrow. It's going to do it for me today as far as the show goes. As you know, the content never stops. I'm always posting anything Packers related all day long, so be sure to be following me at GVP Daily on every social platform. If you are not already, please subscribe to the YouTube channel at GVP Daily as well. I'll be back and at it again tomorrow. So I look forward to seeing you all then. And until then, I will catch you guys later. Thank you.